we could. So what we're doing now, we created a new stream and we are using our videos and our phone. Someone says we're fabulous. So thank you.
Okay.
So today we're doing Roommate Spotlight. One of the reasons is because I'm so excited at the lady Kimberly is. I got to meet her when I moved here to Michigan, and then Kimberly joined your resolution room. And she's just such a fabulous, fabulous lady. And then she's also our prize winner. We had a contest earlier this year, an engagement contest. And Kimberly won the contest. She's one of the people who invited the most roommates in. So Kimberly is responsible for a lot of the roommates that we have in here in your resolution room.
Yeah.
So today I just wanted to A, celebrate her, and B, let you know who your super engager is. So we're going to all get to know each other. We're going to get to know Kimberly, and we're going to get to know you in the first part. We're all going to chat with each other. And then after that, I'm going to ask her some questions. Now, this is how we're all going to chat with each other. I'm going to ask everyone a question. I'm going to ask Kimberly the question. She's going to answer, but you're also going to answer in the chat. So it's a question for everybody, and it's just this or that. So right, this is that. So it's your preference, and we're going to see what Kimberly's preferences are and what other people's preferences are. So first of all, Kimberly, seafood or meat?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Seafood or meat?
Oh, seafood, definitely.
Jazz or hip hop?
Oh.
And
Jazz.
Jazz. While everyone else is thinking, oh, see, we've got two seafoods. For everyone else, jazz or hip hop? Jazz or hip hop? Kimberly's is jazz. What else? Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
Okay. Aretha Franklin or Diana Ross?
Always Riri. Come on now. Come on now.
Now you just say why. I think I know why, but I want you to say why.
Why Aretha?
Why always Riri?
Oh God. Aretha is a legend. She's from Detroit. Like her voice is amazing, and you can't compare it to anything. So Riri.
Riri. Let me see. What else can I ask you? I know the answer to this one, I think.
I'm looking at all the responses.
It just goes right ahead.
Oh, thanks for engaging, guys.
Okay. Peebo Bryson or Luther Vandross?
Luther.
Jerry Curlinal.
Huh?
Jerry Curlinal.
Oh, the old Luther, the thin Luther, the fat Luther, all the Luthers. All the Luthers. I'm here for every Luther. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, it's Luther all the way.
Oh yeah.
It's Luther all the way. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Faith Hill or Mary J. Blige?
Mary J. Mary J has a story to tell.
She does.
She tells it in her songs. I've loved Mary J for years. Yeah.
Yes. Did you watch her? And tell us in the comments if anyone else watched on Amazon her story.
I sure did.
Yeah. What touched you about that?
The fact that she was so real about where she was when she was in those dark places. She wrote those songs. The lyrics, indicated that she was in the dark places.
Yes.
And the fact that she was just so honest about it and then her reflection on it,
Mm-hmm.
it was, I just felt like it was just real. And I love her for that
Yes,
because she's just real.
yes, yes.
Hmm.
I loved her from the first time she came out, the young Mary J. Blige days when she was
Hmm.
dating that little fellow.
Yeah.
And yes, I loved her from then. I just thought she was just so absolutely real.
Hmm.
And I just loved everything about what she presented and
Yeah.
what she did. And
Yeah.
so when we got to a stage where she started getting bigger and bigger, I
Hmm.
felt, yes, I agree. Someone said she's authentic. Yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes, she
Hmm.
really is authentic.
Yeah.
And
Very authentic.
yes, yes. And for some of us, we're not always willing to be vulnerable
That's right.
because of sometimes we want our privacy.
Hmm.
Sometimes we are not yet through it and we don't know what's going to happen in the end.
Hmm.
So we're not able, we're not wanting to do it. But really,
Hmm.
he's just been so vulnerable and so real with everyone at every stage. And
Absolutely.
yes, yes,
I
really,
think that, well, I have grown to know that vulnerability isn't weak like people think it is.
yes,
It's very strong. You have to be very strong
yes,
to be vulnerable,
yes,
and just kind of be bare in
yes,
front of people.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As a woman, how do you how do you become at peace with your vulnerability?
Well, I think that because I'm human,
Hmm.
I do have some places where I'm not peaceful with vulnerability, right? Um, but as you get older and you pay attention to life,
Hmm.
you realize that to be vulnerable is to be your most authentic self.
Hmm.
And if you want to be your most authentic self,
Hmm.
you have to be vulnerable
Hmm.
on some level
Hmm.
at some point.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. Many of us come from backgrounds where that has not been celebrated or encouraged,
absolutely.
and there's so much judgment attached to
Absolutely.
vulnerability and so much celebration for being strong through trials, which is a blessing and which we are encouraged to do, but
Mhm.
we're not always encouraged to also be vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think in the seasons of struggle,
Hmm.
it's okay to say I'm not okay.
Yes.
It's okay to say, I'm doing the best I can,
Hmm.
but right now I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I know that society has made it seem like to be vulnerable is to be weak and you have to always be strong, strong Black woman.
Hmm.
That's so toxic
Yes.
because we're human.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what color I am. It doesn't matter if I'm male or female.
Yes.
I'm human. I have human emotions and
Hmm.
they shouldn't be stifled. You should be able to express them freely.
Yes. Yes. We should. Now, it seems to me as though you've learned that over the years.
Mhm,
And if you were in a position of mentoring, if there were
mhm,
a younger woman listening,
mhm,
what would you advise her to do to walk that path to balancing her strength with her vulnerability so that
mhm,
she can take care of herself? Because if it's one thing that I've noticed with you, is that you manage to express both your strength and the areas that you need to care for yourself with such
mhm.
grace. And
Thank you.
you would be a wonderful mentor for a younger person. So if you imagine that sitting next to you with someone half your age
Mhm.
who is struggling with authenticity so
Yeah.
that she is both a strong lady
Mhm.
and also can admit to where she's vulnerable. How
Mhm.
would you walk her through that, Kimberly?
I think the best advice that I could give her initially is to stay in her feminine energy. I tell my daughter that all the time because sometimes we are faced with situations, people, um, struggles, and our first reaction is to boss up.
Mhm,
Okay, nobody's going to hurt me, right?
mhm,
I got this.
mhm,
And even though the fight or flight thing does happen,
mhm,
I think it's important to stay in feminine energy
mhm,
as far as recognizing, yes, I am strong,
mhm.
but I am also a girl. I'm a girl. I
Yes.
have girl emotions. God made me that way.
Yeah.
And so I would tell her to stay in her feminine energy. I would also tell her to drown out the other voices that are around her.
Mhm,
Only one that you need to be concerned about is yours and your creator.
mhm. That is wonderful advice.
Yeah.
Wonderful advice. You know, what touches me to hear you say stay in your feminine energy is because sometimes as women, we have to take on roles
Mhm.
that we have to take on additional roles. We're diverse women
Mhm.
and we're women living in this era
Yeah,
where the roles are different from the roles of the generation before us.
absolutely.
And so, what we've seen happen with our parents and our grandparents, we grew up accepting that these are the roles.
Mhm.
And then we're in this space now where things don't exist that way.
Rose. Mm-mm.
And our minds could move back and forth.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be like this, but this is how it is.
Mhm.
So something
Mhm.
is wrong. So I should try to get it like this.
Mhm.
And what would you say to a woman who has grown up seeing roles that are different from the
Mhm.
role that she is in now? And she has that yearning
Mhm.
for maybe what she's experienced in the past,
Mhm.
but it's not here right now. How does
Mhm.
she stay in her feminine energy when she's doing things that in her mind are done by a male?
Absolutely. Um, so that's my life right now. Um, I work 12-hour days. I work my day job and then I do my cleaning business.
Yes.
Oftentimes I have conversations with my friends and they're like, "Girl, you doing it. Girl, I don't know how you do it." And then oftentimes I say to them, "I do it because I have to, not because I want to." I don't think women are meant to work those many hours and work that hard. I
Mhm,
don't think we're physically made up like that. Now,
mhm,
can we do it? Absolutely. We can
mhm,
do it anything we put our mind to.
mhm,
But to work like we do, to have all these different hats that we put on,
mhm,
and to manage all of these different lives that we do,
mhm,
to stay in your feminine energy,
mhm,
to me means to put you first at some point.
mhm,
Do some. self-care.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
After 12-hour days, 4 days a week, on the weekends, I treat myself to a mani and pedi. I may go soak in the jacuzzi. I may go, I walk by the water to woosah. I think you just have to have a balance as much as you can, because you can never really have a true balance, but just it shouldn't be like this.
Right.
You got you
Right.
gotta, yeah,
Right.
definitely.
How do you recognize when it's like this?
Oh God. Your emotions are everywhere.
Mhm.
You are having pain in the body.
Mhm.
You are not recognizing yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's not balanced. It's kind of like this. We got to get it to it where it's at least looking a little more even.
Mhm.
And I know that that's hard in this day and age because
Yeah.
we have so much to do. Um, but it's not an impossibility.
Mhm.
And so I haven't been the best at it in the past,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Which is why I recognize that it has to be a balance,
Yeah.
or, it can't just be work, work, work,
Yes.
um, and being there for everyone else. You have to show up for yourself as well.
Yes. So it sounds as though there's a nugget in there too that you could share with women who are listening. Because you said that you haven't been better, you haven't been, good at it in the past, which sounds like
Mm,
there's something you learned along the way. And
yeah.
you learned the process of how to do it. And I would love for you to share as much as you're comfortable with
Hmm.
for women what that process looks like, the process that you learned,
Hmm.
how to move from not caring for herself,
Hmm.
actually being intentional,
Hmm.
caring for ourselves.
So I think that is real important to recognize that oftentimes we internalize other people's opinions or what they think that we should be doing or how you should be. I had to unlearn that
Mhm.
through meditation, prayer,
Mhm.
connections with people that really make you dig deep.
Mhm.
I felt like I was doing wonderfully because I was showing up for everyone else, my children, my brother and sister, my family. And then I'm depleted at the end of it all. So I learned to back up and recognize, yeah, I do have to do these things for these people, and I'm going to do it because I love them, because that's who I am.
Mhm.
God made me that way.
Mhm.
But I have to be intentional about showing up for myself as well. Because if I don't show up for me, who's going to show up for me? I know God will show up for me, but who's going to show up for me? I got to show up for myself. Sometimes, well, most times you teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so I know in the past, I did not treat myself well.
Yes.
And then people followed suit. Once I started treating myself better and feeling better
Mhm.
about who I am,
Mhm.
and letting go of the ideas of who other people say I am, and
Mhm.
maybe even who I presented myself to be in a season,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's a thing.
Yes.
You're not going to stay in the same season. You're all. you're supposed to be growing. So
Mm-hmm.
who I was a year ago is not who I am today. And I, uh, what I want to say is self forgiveness, forgiving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that we don't talk about often. We talk about forgiving other people, but you got to forgive yourself for your own mistakes, your own, things, some things that are not even your fault.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, that's who said Kim is a mentor to me. I just try to be a better me,
Yes.
than I used to be.
Yes.
And
Mm.
myself for not having the knowledge that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a day-to-day thing.
Kim, you said, I think you did an entire sermon in this last nugget of advice. And what impacts me most is what you said about evolving. What
Yeah,
I heard is that you feel that women should evolve and it's
hmm,
okay to evolve and it's okay
absolutely.
to be someone different.
It's mandatory to involve.
It's
To
mandatory.
sorry to evolve.
It's
It's
mandatory.
mandatory. If
Why
you're
is
staying the same person
mm-hmm,
all your life,
mm-hmm,
you know, wash, rinse, repeat,
mm-hmm,
something is out of alignment.
mm-hmm. So I have a question for you, Kim. Let us envision again that your mentor to the woman half your age who's sitting in front of you.
Okay.
You just said to her, it's mandatory to evolve. And she says, well, I don't like my friends don't like that. My family don't like that. Everyone says I've changed and people are uncomfortable around me. And they say
Mhm,
you're new, you've changed. You're
mhm,
not the same friend you used to be before.
yeah,
And you used to do these things for me or with me, and you no
yeah,
longer do them.
yeah,
That's a difficult place for someone who might have struggled with identity or one of
absolutely.
those things. Kimberly, how would you speak to that woman, and what would you say to her?
Um, I've lived that life. I mean, still to today.
Mm-hmm.
In evolution, there is very little comfortability.
Mm-hmm.
The people around you, when you start evolving and you start setting boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
people start getting really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start judging you
Mm-hmm.
for wanting to grow, not stay in the same place,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So the first thing I would say is be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the friends that are complaining about you evolving
Mm-hmm.
probably are not the friends that are going to be with you when you ascend.
Yeah.
Get some new friends.
Yeah.
Get some new friends. Ask God to send the right people to you and
Mm-hmm.
you to the right people, and it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
But don't put too much weight into what other people think of your evolution because it's your life and it's your responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's mandatory to evolve.
Yeah. I've lost, well, I won't say I lost.
Mm-hmm.
I transitioned
Mm-hmm.
um, from a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
over the course of just being in the quarantine. I used to have a circle of friends.
Yeah.
Now I got a dot.
Ah.
And I'm okay with that because the quality of the people
Yes.
is different.
When you think of a dot, it's focused, right?
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
it.
That's it. Yeah.
And I used to show up for many, many people. I mean, I still do, but
Yeah.
I used to show up for this many people.
Yes.
And this many people showed up for me.
Uh-huh.
So I had to sit back and take some inventory of that. Okay.
Mhm.
You want people around you that are going to support you, love you, encourage you,
Yes.
catapult you to the next level.
Yes.
You also want people that are going to reprove you. They're going to tell you the truth in love.
Mhm.
Um, they're going to help you get up when you fall, dust you off,
Mhm.
and say, okay, let's go.
So this is another little sermonette, and I'm gonna have to stay here for a minute because we were in your
Okay.
solution room and
Okay.
we bravely talk about things that could bring conflict.
Okay.
So you just said you have to be comfortable with having friends who would reprove you.
Yeah.
That's conflict, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's use ourselves as an example so that we're
Yeah.
sure we're not talking about anyone else, right?
Okay. Everybody take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. We're going deeper now. Kimberly, you and I have been friends for 25 years. But there's this thing about you reproving me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grown. I know myself better than you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know me for 25 years, but you think you know everything about me, but there are these things that you don't know about me. So when I go to make these decisions, it gets uncomfortable. This whole reproving thing. Why are you, Kimberly, taking liberties with my um, with my own walk, the way I live my life, with my decisions,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's one mindset that I could have. Of course, the other mindset is that we're friends, I trust you, I can't see everything. And
Yeah.
so if you reprove me lovingly, it helps me to grow. But then there's that other mindset um, that you don't know everything about me,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what I've been through, you only know what I've told you.
Mm-hmm.
And so this reproof does not land the way it was intended by you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How, as women, I'm going to ask you to advise both of us, you and me.
Mm-hmm.
First, advise yourself. How, as a woman, do you, Kimberly, feel still the responsibility and the joy and the blessing of friendship in working in reproving me, even though you know that's the reaction, that's the way I'm going to react? What about us as women
Mm-hmm.
should keep us focused enough and loving enough and kind enough to go a little deeper with the friendship and give a reproof?
Mm-hmm. I think that if you know, we've been friends for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know me, which you should after 25 years,
Mm-hmm.
then you know that anything that I'm going to tell you is for the benefit of you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't see ourselves the way other people see us.
Mm-hmm.
So you may know about your struggles and you may know about your history, your past.
Mm-hmm.
I may not have all that knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but if we are friends and I know that you are doing something that maybe I feel is not in your best interest or may harm you in some way, right? It's my responsibility as your friend to pull your coattail in a loving way
Yes.
and let you know what my concerns are for you
Yes.
and why.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Sometimes the message sent is not always the message received, right? So you have to be very purposeful in the words that you choose when you know that a person is sensitive to reprove,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
And as a friend, I'm gonna go deeper. Like one of my girlfriends, she calls me, well, she's like, nobody wants to see you coming because you're like the guy that's in the cave with the flashlight on their head. You're like, you come in the room and you like, what's going on? Do y'all don't see that? Ain't
Yeah.
nobody gonna say that about that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And even with me, let me say this. I have not been the best in the past at choosing my words wisely.
Mm-hmm.
I have spoken out of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I have spoken out of anger.
Been
I've
there.
spoken out of hurt.
Been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen the results of that
Mm-hmm.
manifest in my life through
Mm-hmm.
my relationships,
Yes.
even in my family, my children,
Mm-hmm.
okay, my friends.
Yeah.
So you recognize this is what I don't want. I
Right.
don't want people to be hurt. I don't want people to feel like they can't talk to me. I don't want people to feel like I'm unapproachable.
Yes.
What do I need to do? What self inventory do I need to take?
Yeah.
What is it that needs to change in me?
Yes.
Because it's not out here,
Yes.
in me,
In me. Yes.
to make sure that the message sent is the message received, or at least the message that I'm sending isn't harsh or hurtful.
Yes. Yes. I understand exactly how you feel because what I've learned over the past years, having like you said some things just shooting off, saying what I think should be said, but
Mhm,
not really speaking from the heart or
mhm,
trying to understand how it might land, sort of testing the waters first.
mhm,
If I'm
mhm.
gonna jump on a trampoline, I'm gonna test it first, you know,
Right,
to make sure that it's good before I start jumping on it. I think
right.
the same way, if I'm gonna launch an idea or
Yeah.
say something, I should test how it's gonna land.
Mhm,
Might
mhm.
not be the right time to say it. I might want to say it another time. And I understand exactly what you mean
Yeah.
because there are times that I've said things in ways that I should not have, for reasons that I should not have.
Mhm,
And sometimes my intentions were not always the best.
mhm, mhm.
And I'm grateful for the friends who have transitioned with me to this point.
Mhm,
What I've learned now is that I invest. So I think of the extra 5 minutes that it would take me to think about the person and plan what I'm going to say
mhm.
as an investment. And sometimes I say, I'd better invest this time in planning how to approach this rather than just saying, I think your daughter is using drugs.
Yeah. And you
I,
know what? It's okay to ask the person, are they open to have the conversation, or are you open for my input at this time. Because
Exactly.
sometimes they are not.
Exactly. So they
That's
just
going
don't have the
to
bandwidth. They're in survival mode.
yeah,
And I would be a better friend just helping them to survive in the
yeah,
moment.
yeah,
So that they get to a place where they're actually open for a
yeah.
conversation. And that is
That's right.
something, yes, that's something that I had to learn along the way. Do you know what taught me that lesson? The Salvation Army.
Mm,
I have a friend who's a Salvation Army minister. And she explained to me that every church has a bank of showers and a
mhm,
kitchen
mhm,
because they insist that they should be able to give someone the comfort of a bath and clothing,
mhm,
or they even try to see about salvation.
mm,
And so she said, soap, soup, and then salvation.
mhm.
And in talking to her about that process, it taught me too that sometimes people are not yet ready for what you have to offer because they
Mm,
have other needs that should be taken care of.
that's right.
And that's
That's right.
pretty much what you're saying. Are they open for the conversation?
Yeah, because if you're steady trying to drill your point home and they're not even there, like they're at the basic fundamentals of survival,
Yes, yes,
they're not going to want to hear your opinion about, whatever it is. Go help them survive.
yes,
Go help them do whatever it is that they need to do to get back up.
yes.
Then maybe you can have the conversation at a later date.
I agree. I agree. And roommates, because in this community, we support and we help and we build and we love each other. If
Yeah.
anyone is experiencing something like that, or if anyone is in that place,
Hmm.
I would love for you to check in with Kimberly. All right.
Hmm.
Send me a DM. Let me know where you are. Let me know how I can help you. I might be able to go live and talk about things that might help you, or I might be able to
Absolutely.
help you in other ways.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to feel that as part of this community, you are there to go through it on your own.
No.
We
No.
want you to know that this is the community where we build and lift each other up through conflict. Because conflict is going to be there until we transition
Mm.
at the end of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yes.
it's so important to learn how to have conflict resolution in more than one way,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a talker
Mm-hmm.
and I want to sit down and talk and have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody isn't like that.
Yes.
So you need to know how to resolve conflict in other ways
Yes.
that are out of your comfort zone as well.
Yes. Yes. I
Mhm.
agree. I agree. Kimberly, what makes you happy?
Helping others,
Mm-hmm.
seeing a smile on other people's faces,
Mm-hmm.
because I helped them do something or accomplish something, or I
Yes.
said a kind word.
Yes.
Um, Water walking makes me happy. Anybody that knows me knows that. Music makes me happy. Everybody that knows me knows that.
Yes.
Seeing my children succeed, that makes me very happy.
Yes.
Um,
Beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful. What is your favorite thing about yourself, about Kimberly?
my favorite thing about me hmm, is that I have grown to understand that who I am
Mm-hmm.
is good.
Mm.
Um, God made me the way that I am.
Yes.
And I used to feel like, why am I so sensitive? Why am I always trying to help other people? Why am I trying to? That's the way God made me. And I thought about changing myself, right? I'm just going to be disgruntled and I ain't helping nobody. That's not even in my spirit. I can't do that. So it's not that you change who you are, you change who has access to who you are
Yes. Yes.
and set boundaries.
Yes.
So I
That is
think
so
the fact
deep.
that I have grown to be okay with who I am in
Yeah.
all my perfect imperfection.
Yes.
That's the best thing about me for me.
Mm-hmm. It's not that you change who you are, you change who has access to you.
That's right.
Yes. That's beautiful.
Because everybody doesn't appreciate value
Mm-hmm.
the things that you give. They may
Yes.
take them for granted. They may mistreat them. They may, you know, just not even be in a space where they can appreciate it or value it.
Yes. 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 That is true. That is true. Because of their own experience, because of their own priorities,
That's right.
they might not
That's right.
be something that they don't need and or don't know they need.
And it's not your responsibility to make them
Mm,
see it or value you or respect you.
no.
It's your responsibility to do those things for yourself. So, my daughter had a breakup and she broke up with her boyfriend, and we were talking, how do you feel about that? And what does that do to your self esteem? Do you feel low? Do you feel blah, blah, blah? She was like, no, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I taught her, those things, how to value yourself, how to have self esteem.
Yes.
It doesn't have anything to do with other people. It's about you.
Yes.
And so she, as she was going through the breakup,
Mm-hmm.
um, I asked her, how was she feeling? What was she feeling? Was she feeling sad or down?
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't. Now, at her age, I can't say the same about me. But I told, because I didn't have those things instilled in me. I tried to make sure that I did for my kids what wasn't done for me, build their self esteem, make sure they can do anything, and push them to greatness as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so in that conversation with her, I said to her, it's okay if he doesn't choose you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not okay if you don't choose you.
Mm-hmm.
You make sure you choose you,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of
Mm-hmm.
what, anyone else does.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that's something that, I carry. I'm human.
Yes.
And when people don't choose me, it hurts.
Yes.
But if I don't choose me, it's going to hurt worse.
Yes.
So,
Yes. That is so true.
yeah,
That is so true.
yeah,
And this is why we choose ourselves first, so that we could help others.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
Self.
Excuse me. I think this siren is going off. One moment.
That's okay.
Okay.
We live in a real world. It's real life.
Yep, 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 yep.
Real
So
life.
who's all out there? I can't even
Yeah,
see.
who's looking at us? Pop your names in the chat so we can see. And I can assure you the siren is not coming for Kimberly, so she's not she's here with
I'm
us
good.
forever.
I'm safe.
So who all is chatting with us? We'd love to see your names in the comments. Let
Yeah.
us know
Let
if
me know
you have
who's out
any
there.
questions for Kimberly as we start
Yeah.
wrapping up. And Kimberly, I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
what is your biggest hope for yourself?
Hmm. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm in a new season, right? My
Mm-hmm.
kids are grown. Um, I'm trying to find myself again.
I'm gonna pop on
So,
here.
yeah. Yeah. Where are y'all? Where are y'all at? I don't see no names here. What's happening? I see Jacqueline. Who else is on here? I'm talking to the people.
Yes, people. Say
Thanks for
hi.
tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Say hi in the comments. So yeah,
Yeah. So I think that
what's the
what I
biggest
want to,
thing for yourself?
my biggest hope for myself is to get back to my most authentic self, to have financial freedom, a couple different businesses, build generational wealth,
Yeah,
and to, well, find a mate or have a mate find me,
yes,
because I don't think God made anybody to be alone.
yes,
And I know that He gave me these, gifts,
yeah,
not just to hold to myself.
yes.
So I'm hoping that somebody sees me as a helpmate one day soon. And
I am all for that. I am all for that. And
I'm putting that out there, universe.
I am all for that. And I am all for, oh, someone says it's saying that they can't comment on the live. Oh, Anna Kay is here with us. We've
Oh,
got,
no.
I'm getting DMs from Messenger. And so I'm
Okay.
going to tell you from Messenger. Cherise Clayton says
Uh-huh.
comments are turned off on our talk with Kimberly.
Okay.
And Anna Kay says it's saying we can't comment on the live, which is weird because
Yeah, but the whole
self
thing has been
comments are great.
different.
Mhm.
Yeah, like this
Oh,
whole thing has been different. So I
this
don't
yeah,
know.
this whole day has been different.
The devil is a lie.
Listen, a huge liar. So, ladies, just pop. And we did see a comment a few minutes ago, and then
Yeah, because people were commenting and
people
then
were
maybe,
commenting.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but we're having fun, and we know they're having
Hi.
fun. Yeah.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry you can't comment, but thank you for tuning in.
Yes,
You know I love you.
yes,
You know I love
yes.
you.
Love you all so much. So, Kimberly, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Hmm. Believe in yourself,
Mhm,
no matter what other people say.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Follow
powerful.
your dreams.
That's powerful.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
powerful. Believe in
Yeah.
yourself no matter what others say.
No matter what. That's what I taught my kids.
Yeah.
I didn't, unfortunately, we didn't learn that. We were raised a different way.
Mhm,
Boundaries and limitations
mhm,
were put on us.
mhm.
Not in, I don't even think it was intentional. I think that's the way that they were raised.
Mm,
So, you know what I mean? So they just passed it on down.
mhm,
And I believed it. I
mhm.
believed the lie.
Wow.
So my kids, they don't have those same limitations.
Mhm.
And I thank God for that.
Yeah. Kimberly Anna Kay sent a message here and she said, "This is a great life. It's so needed and not talked about often enough. Thank you, ladies." Anna
Mm,
Kay, from the bottom of our hearts,
hmm.
we appreciate your comment.
Yeah.
Kimberly is, such a warm and beautiful person with such a wealth of joy and of happiness and love inside her. And as women, this is how we should connect. We
Yeah.
should really get to know each other and be in a space where we can uplift each other. We can
Absolutely.
talk authentically about things that bother us. We can
Absolutely.
push past things that pop up that
Hmm.
block our purpose and
Hmm.
actually move forward on purpose.
Hmm.
Kimberly and I were ready this morning. Kimberly was ready by 11. And we were on here by
Uh-huh.
11:45 doing little things to troubleshoot.
Yeah.
And neither of us said we're going to cancel this.
No.
It's not perfect. The,
No.
the stream that was set up before
Hmm.
had our logo at the top. It didn't have that Be Live stream like a pro.
Yeah.
And ideally, we would be able to hear and see each other and hear
Hmm.
and listen to you, you know?
Yeah.
And we would be here. There's a comment coming in from my phone, Brenda. Brenda said it's not allowing her to comment, but
Yeah.
she's listening. She says, good interview. And Brenda hopes you get your soulmate soon.
Yes. Please.
Now, I do know that
No.
Brenda is a praying person. And so would
Oh,
you like Brenda to
Brenda.
put that on her prayer list?
Brenda went 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Get together. Come on. Touch and agree.
Yes, yes, yes. So, this is what we do. We're here. Kimberly and I were here. We were troubleshooting. And
Yeah.
so after we couldn't get it working, Kimberly said, well, how about? So she couldn't hear me through the software. So she's
No.
hearing me on her phone.
Yeah.
I have my phone on mute, so there's no feedback. She has her earphones in, and we are doing this thing
Yeah.
because on a Saturday, the first Saturday in October, as
Yes.
women, we wanted to gather here and talk.
Yes. In a
This
positive
is,
space and a safe
yes,
place.
yes. And this has been set up and planned for a month. And
Yeah.
so we recognize that we don't live in a perfect world. And we know that there's an adversary who comes against the things that we want to do. And so the love and the care and the attention and the advice that you got from Kimberly this morning and getting to know her and as such a beautiful person, you would not have been able to do that if we didn't persist with what we're doing and how we're doing it, our phones and the software and everything. And so, even in this, ladies, we want you to see what we're doing here as a bit of encouragement to you. Push past the little things that pop up. And as women, let's just be on purpose and move on purpose and understand that things will happen. But when they do happen, we just find another way that will work and we continue. And when we continue in our purpose, God is going to meet us. He's going to meet us where we are and
That's
He's going
right.
to help us to move forward.
That's right.
And
That's right.
oh, yes, Cherise Clayton says, Kimberly knows how much I've loved and valued her from day one. Her spirit is kind and leaves beautiful vibes behind. I've
Aw.
really enjoyed this talk. And Kimberly, she says, thank you for being such a good friend.
Aw.
This is so beautiful.
Thank you.
This is so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Ladies, we did this together.
Yeah.
We did this together. We
Yeah.
did this with our laptops, with our phones, in our
Yep.
community, with things not being perfect, but we
Yeah.
were able to
Yeah.
do this. And so
I
we
love you too, Cherise. Gonna put that
oh,
back in there.
yes, yes, yes. And Brenda says amen. So clearly Brenda's going to pray for you too. That and
Yes.
Kimberly, my ask is that once it happens, you post pictures inside of the group.
Yeah.
Post those wedding pictures so that we can see because we are believing that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We are believing that it's going to happen and we are
I
agreeing.
believe that. I believe it and I receive it. I believe it and I receive it.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
So, friends, roommates, this has been a beautiful time spent with you. And I just feel like I've been sitting by the fireplace with a friend, drinking a little glass of wine and eating little seafood bites and just enjoying this time.
Right.
Really, thank you, Kimberly, for being here in our community, for being so caring, for being so loving. for inviting people into this space so that they can enjoy too some of what your resolution is. And as we move forward in this last quarter of the year, you're going to see me a little more live, whether or not the tech works, because that's me. I'm coming on. We're doing what we're doing. So we're going to be live a little more, just talking and sharing. Kimberly, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tabitha, for having me. Thank you so much for this room. It's a beautiful space, safe, and I just appreciate you as well.
Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. And we're going to come back in the comments. I think once we're off, we're going to chat more. We're going to find ways of replying to y'all. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye.